anything, then you're going to start noticing like, well, wait a second, these two parts contradict. Like this, like different years are listed. Like it says, oh, okay, in 1444, blah blah blah, in 50 years. Then 50 years later in 1492, and it's like 44 plus 50 is not 92. It's not. Oh yeah, hello stream, welcome to whatever. I thought
It is all small values of year.
What about octal?
No, it would be very different. You did actually get my joke, though, right?
Can you repeat for the stream? I heard your joke and laughed at it, but for the stream,
But did you get it?
I didn't hear it. Can you repeat, please?
He said it does not equal to 92, and I said, well, it does for all small values of year.
Is that like a 0.999 repeating equals 1 joke
The
or
theory
something?
that 2 plus 2 equals 5 for all large values of 2.
Oh my god, I don't remember this. You have to explain it for the stream. Actually, I do remember it because I'm that smart, but
pure numeric. This is something that I had come up with when I was a kid, and of course, everyone made fun of me. And then I was in physics class in college, and my teacher said that to somebody about something, and I screamed I knew it. The reason is because while you can have pure numeric values of 1 or 2 or 3, in the real world, you can have objects that are different size or value, but still try to count them as 1. So if I have 2 small apples and 2 more small apples and I add them together, that is definitely still the number 4. I have 4 apples, but it's not the same as if I had added 2 larger apples with 2 larger apples. I still have 4, but mass-wise, quantity-wise, value-wise, I have 5. So it's the concept of that basically, and I just turn it into joke. I'm sorry, I might be a little stoned.
That's awesome. This is now a math channel. Look out, Veritasium.
There we go. Anyways,
I mean, we're already better than Veritasium.
And it applies to anything. Yeah. It can apply to anything that isn't strictly purely numerical, that can have different values or weights based on it, even though it is a solid number, basically. It's just a stupid thought exercise that I thought was funny.
That's awesome. Thanks for
Can we start the stream over again and ignore this?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I could. I've actually done that before, but not because of not for a good reason. Oh, I was having technical problems, so I got pissed off, and after 20 minutes of technical problems, I'm like, okay.
Oh, that one time.
Yeah, that one time.
You had technical problems.
Yeah, the one time I did. Remember? You remember?
Hey, you made a funny math joke. None of us got it. Then you explained it, and we still didn't really get it. But it was funny, and that's not your fault.
Yes, it's not my fault that it was funny. I know.
Oh yeah, when we last left our adventurers, that's the magical segue. And I'm also going to actually segue because since the stream is on, I might as well start playing. Oh my god, I typed Feywild in my notes, and autocorrect changed it to Frywild.
Frywild.
Yeah, I'm glancing at my notes and I see the Frywild, and I'm like, wow, I want to go to the Frywild. It's like Fry from Futurama, but also there's French fries growing everywhere, like trees, like palm trees, but with French fries coming out the top. Mad Maggie stands there munching a bag of French fries.
A bag of French fries? Oh, this really is hell. You only get the fries that are left at the bottom of the bag.
How could you not like fries?
There's a yellow M on the side of the bag. That's all that's available in hell is McDonald's French fries.
Ooh. Those are the second best French fries in the world,
according to McDonald's.
Third, I forgot about Steak and Shake. Third,
a survey based on McDonald's findings.
No. Steak and Shake has hands down the best fucking fries.
Rexlor sneezes and blinks, and he goes, "Oh man, I feel like I just blacked out for like 3 weeks straight. Can anyone catch me up on what just happened? Who are you? What's your name?" And I look at Mad Maggie.
The last 12 seconds replay themselves, and it occurs like this. One of the Kinku waves in your direction as if telling you to remain where you are. What a deal! Patience is a virtue. Can't keep the boss waiting. He runs off into one of the trash structures. Oh, that was my nickname in high school, trash structure. Oh, that's sorry. Moments later, he returns, leading a tall creature wearing a long, tattered shift covered in mud, blood, mold, and worse. The hag's eyes seem to move independently of each other as she approaches, her straggly brown hair hanging in front of them. Resting on each shoulder are red-eyed ravens that scrutinize your group. Behind her, a hulking creature built of disparate fiendish parts trudges, moaning and hopping as it walks. Then both of the hag's eyes focus keenly on your group, and on Lulu specifically. My goodness, the hag croaks, spittle dribbling from her mouth. Where did you find such a treasure? And that's your prompt. Also, one of you guys rolled some kind of a check, a knowledge check, to realize that this is a fiendish flesh golem sewn together from various devil and demon parts and then animated as a construct.
Wow.
Magic.
I like to call it Good Saturday Night.
So as she comes in and looks at Lulu, I say, "Oh, do you recognize our friend here? My name is Raxlor. I'm the de facto leader of this group. What's your name?"
Oh, does it not? Oh, she doesn't say her name in here. Okay. She says, "Ah, yes, Raxlor, nice to meet you. What a fine furbolg you are. My name is Mad Maggie, and I do recognize Lulu. In fact, she may not remember, but we have met before."
Does Lulu say anything to that,
Oh?
or is it my turn?
Lulu does not. She doesn't say anything. You look at her and she goes, "I'm sorry, guys. My memory's too hazy. I don't. It's not remembering anything about her yet. But all my memories around the Kinku are real hazy, and I just can't remember any of it."
I say, well, clearly our friend here is having trouble with her memory. Maybe if you tell us how you knew her, that might help jog her memory. We've actually been trying to unlock some of her memories and try and refresh her. We think that she might be a key to our quest, so that's actually kind of what we're doing. So if you'd be able to assist us in any way on that, I would be really appreciate it, especially if it's no more difficult than telling us a story.
Maggie says, "Oh, how unfortunate that she doesn't even remember the one who saved her life. Yes, she was here working for me. I was told to dispose of her when the Geish spell wore off, but I couldn't destroy such a beautiful creature. You see, I'm intrigued by angelic things. A night hag though I am, and evil though I love, I am intrigued by angelic creatures and couldn't bring myself to destroy such a cute little being. In fact, for the weeks that she was here, she made friends of even the most grouchy of the fey creatures. And I thought, oh, what a shame. So, using my plane shift magic, I shifted her to the material plane. I
I
figured
say,
that was
Oh.
close. That was close enough to disposing. Material plane, garbage heap, same thing. And I thought she can suffer in the mortal plane. And if anything happens to her after that, that's on fate. That's not me.
I chuckle and I say, "Yeah, you got that right about the material plane, full of garbage and trash, and there's also things that aren't people."
That reminds me, I watched the Kid Rock music video finally. Oh, it's so hilariously bad. Speaking of
I say,
trash in the material plane.
speaking of trash humans, yeah. I say, you mentioned a Gish spell. Were you under the effects of a Gish spell, or was Lulu?
No, it was Zariel who brought me Lulu and said, "Here, I have no need for this." She said she's under the enchantment of a servant spell and will obey your commands for 30 days. And when the spell wears off, she told me dispose of her as I see fit.
Okay, so Lulu was gished, and you were told after the Gish wears off Lulu to kill her,
And
or to dispose of her.
And Lulu says, "I knew it! I knew it! Zariel told you to dispose of me, knowing that your heart would lead you to send me somewhere else instead of killing me. She acted all tough, but really she wanted to save me. I knew there was good in her." And Maggie goes, "Well, I'm not so sure about all that, but you know, that's what happened, so I couldn't tell you what Zariel's thoughts are. She's the archdevil of this plane here, and she's pretty damn evil. I'll just tell you that."
Well, I mean, if she's so evil and heartless and wanted to get rid of Lulu and wanted her dead, wouldn't she have just done it herself? Why would she give her to you to use for 30 days and then trust you to dispose of her? That doesn't add up. So actually, it sounds like there might be some good in Zariel after all. Or maybe maybe it's not so much evil as or good, like a shred of good, as it is just pity for her companion from the past. But either way, I don't think that really matters right now since Zariel's not here, and I don't even think, even if we were to pass judgment on her, there's not much we can really do about that. Oh, yep, Zariel's evil. Let's go kill her. Everyone in this place is evil. We're here for things that's not our concern. We're not here to cleanse this place of evil. We're
Why,
here on a mission.
dearie, let me ask you, please. Why are you here exactly? It's not often that creatures willingly travel to Avernus that aren't already fiendish in some way.
I say it's true. We are here for very specific purposes. What's purposes? What's the plural of purpose? Purposes.
Purposes.
You know,
Purpose.
every
That's right. Greek
You know,
word.
Some of us are a little bit deviant and evil. I'm just saying.
every vice president and CEO in the freaking business world pronounces processes, okay,
Yeah.
instead of processes. And I've Googled this on multiple occasions, and I'm pretty certain that you only say C's if you make a long O. In other words, if you're British. So if you say processes, that's okay. But if you're going to say process, you say processes. It's a plural of process. It's not a Greek root that ends in is that you transform. That's not what it is. It's just not how language works. So it's either processes if you're British or want to speak that way, or it's processes. But I cannot tell you how many vice presidents. I'm pretty sure Mark Zuckerberg on his recent Meta thing, that I'm pretty sure he said processes, or like his VP lady that was interviewing him said processes. So it's like it just spreads like a disease because at some point some CEO or vice president heard someone else say it and they're like, "Oh,
Yep.
that's the right way you say it to say it, so I'm going to start saying it that way." And then they all do, and you're like, "Well, it's a powerful person pronouncing it this way, so that must be how you say it." But the linguists are just, crying in their tea because that's what linguists drink.
That's exactly like the Sam Adams commercials.
Oh, how so?
Yeah, I'll have water. I'll have water. I'll have a Sam Adams. Actually, change mine to a Sam Adams. Me too. Okay.
No one
Did I
actually
flip
90s
universes? How come
90s commercials?
I'm making references and none of you guys are getting them, and I know y'all have seen them before.
I did, but
I mean, after
it's
you
been 20
explain it,
years. But that's an awesome.
yeah.
That's an awesome reference.
It has. That's exactly what it's like. I mean, seriously, I've been out to eat lunch with people and seen that happen. Not necessarily with beer,
Not with Sam
but with
Adams.
something that was just a little bit more like, oh no, I won't get the dessert. Oh well, I won't get the dessert. I'll get a dessert. Okay, well, I'll get dessert. You
You know
know.
what pisses me off though about that is usually I'll have something in mind of what I want, but someone else orders it first, and then it just sounds like I'm copying
Yes.
what their order was. Like we'll go to like a Chinese restaurant, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm feeling like some tea," and someone else orders tea, and I'm like, "Who orders tea? Who orders tea?" And I'm like, "I'll also have tea." And then it feels like I'm just trying to be fancy and copy them. I'm like, "God damn it, I wanted tea, and now
Yep.
I look pretentious." Happened to me while I was on vacation. Anyway, so I say,
No, what you do is you say, I'll also have tea, but I just want everyone to know I was already going to order that, and so this is in no way influence.
Yep.
That's how you make the situation less
or
awkward, is you say that.
you could also say, "Oh, I was gonna have the tea, but I guess I'll have," and then order something even more obscure, or
More
say, "Well,
pretentious.
or I was thinking about getting tea, but do you actually have oolong? I prefer oolong uh over black tea or something
Oh,
like
I
that."
I do that with Deanna if we're going to eat somewhere and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this. It looks good." And I'm like, "Because if I want some, I can just eat yours. So I should pick something else." So then I do, but I don't ever share any of hers. It's just the
Hello.
idea
He
that I
did.
could. So I always eat my
It's
second
back.
favorite thing. Huh?
You cut out, but it came through. So when you lag, it stops, and then we get all the messages after a delay. So you're fine
FedEx guy.
now. You're fine now, but I think
Do I sound like the
Echo.
FedEx guy? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Isn't that Verizon? Can you hear me now? Good.
First I was FedEx, now I'm Verizon. Uh,
Anyway, yeah.
yes,
I think you're fine.
Mad Maggie says those things.
Well, I was talking, and then we got it sidetracked on other stuff. So
Yes, please
um,
proceed, Governor.
yeah. Um. We are here on specific business. For our own purposes, but I'm not sure we can completely trust you. I mean, obviously, you could probably take us on if you'd like to, but I don't think anyone's suggesting that. I just we're here as your guests at the moment, but I don't think we have any reason to give you more information than that, without knowing without you sharing some more information with us, like the story of how you saved Lulu.
Ah,
Why did Zariel bring her to you? Do you know why?
um, Oh, certainly not, dearie. Although I do communicate with Zariel, mostly we have an agreement that I'm kind of the head warlord in these wastelands. Yes, you see, there are many different warlords that roam the wastelands of Avernus, and I'm kind of the unofficial top dog of them all, and they all have to, yeah, bend to me. Fort Knucklebone, I've established here. Well, I didn't establish it; it was here before me. But it rests on one of the few oases. Pretty sure that's correct. In a freshwater spring here. In fact, we have a bar built around it in the first knuckle. It's called the Well. Um, and no violence is allowed. Well, minimal violence. No political violence is allowed. So yes, so I have an agreement with Zariel, but if we were talking about corporate structure, which in hell we kind of are, think of it as me as like a director. I might get an audience with Zariel, like once a quarter, and I get to present a PowerPoint, but it's not like we're like good friends and she tells me all her stuff. But yeah, so I just follow orders from her, and I thought, oh, what a cool slave that I could have for a while. Oh, but I knew Zariel had something up her sleeve because after Lulu left, I found another tapestry. Oh yes, the tapestry. I didn't tell you my tapestry story. Yes, you see, I came to Avernus looking for seeking incredible pains and torments, and ooh, I just love those things. And I got bored with the gray wastes and even the material planes, so I traveled to Avernus, and I found a shredded tapestry that told the story of a beautiful angel that from grace and came to rule this layer of hell. I became fascinated with her, eventually striking up deals with
Sure, they'll
her
come
as
back
I
in a second.
gained in power. Can you hear me okay?
You're back.
Was I cutting out?
It kind of sounds like he didn't skip any words. Like it's,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
that's
stops. It
weird.
stops completely, pauses for about 10 seconds, and then comes back where you left off.
Which is
Hmm.
crazy because then he's like 10 seconds behind us. Also, don't touch strange tapestries.
Is it caught up now?
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you in the other room, so
It's kind of hard to tell.
Willow, you can hear me in the other room. That doesn't help anyone else.
barely. Well, it does, because then I can hear if you're caught up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. And I mean, I can recap bullet point details. I'm not. It's not like I have the story written down and I'm telling it great. I'm kind of trying to do it from memory, like she would be. But she would be doing a better job. So just role play that she is. So let's see. So she traveled to Avernus. She found a tapestry that told the fall of Zariel, and she became fascinated with it. And that's been like her obsession. Well, then she gets this, celestial that she's told to dispose of, gets rid of it, and later on, she found another tapestry that shows a golden elephant traveling with Zariel. And she's like, "Whoa, wait a second! That wasn't just a random celestial. That was like, like a partner of hers or something." Hear me? I could send you guys a Well, no,
I
I'm not
mean,
gonna. Yeah,
honestly,
yeah, yeah. Picture. No, go ahead.
at this point, it almost sounds like we're reading the Bible. I mean, it's all very confusing.
Yes.
so,
Um.
so it sounds to me like you didn't know that Lulu was important before you gave her away
Yes,
to the
exactly.
material plane, and now we've brought her back to you.
Yes, and I'm hoping that she can fill some holes in the Zariel legend. You see, I know I've collected relics and I know much of the story, but I was hoping that Zariel would be able to enlighten me on the parts that I don't know.
Well, that sounds very convenient because,
Yes.
as I'm sure you've already pieced together, I don't think she will be much help to you in the state that she is because she doesn't really have any of her memories. But she has been slowly regaining pieces of the memories, so it seems like it might be in your best interest to help us out. And I think that offering you her retelling of the story once she gets her memory back, I think that would be a pretty good trade for helping her to regain her memories, don't you think?
Um. Oh, it's yes, dearie. It seems that our goals are aligned because you want to recover her memories, and that's exactly what I want. So I wouldn't even ask for any payment. Um, but
Ow.
rather than can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if that ow was for me. I'm using a different
No, I
headset
said
system for
wow.
defense. Oh wow. Oh, that's even better. Yes, no payment. However, I don't really have time to sit around waiting for elephants to recover memories. I'm a night hag. I have specialties. I would rather approach this problem directly. And then she licks her lips and cackles her fingers.
I
Um,
say, oh god. So I don't want a metagame. How much can I know about night hags?
Roll an Arcana check.
Oh, let me grab my dice. I forgot to get them out.
Who needs dice for D&D?
Yeah, usually not us.
We've had sessions where there's
Uh,
one dice
okay,
roll in the whole game.
I'm retiring the set of dice. It screwed me too much. It looks really nice. It's really sharp edges, but no. But that was a 2.
Replace the word dice.
I say, I say. So by that you mean like eat her brains or something? Because I don't think that's gonna work. Like if her memories aren't there, I don't think you're gonna be able to find anything out by eating her
Eat her
brains.
brains? Certainly not. Brains are
Well,
not
I don't know
even.
what you.
It's
I
not
don't know
even
what
the
you type of
tastiest
people
part
do.
of the creature. No, you have to go for the sweetbreads. The pancreas. But
The
no,
memories are stored in the pancreas.
no. I'm not eating anyone. At least not right now. No,
We'll talk later.
we can enter her dreams. Yeah.
We or you?
Well,
I don't know if I feel comfortable with you going into her dreams alone.
oh, I can only act as a conduit. Think of it as like a seance situation. I will be your guide, but you must venture into her dreams and recover her lost memories.
I turn to Lulu and I say, well, I mean, can you think of anything that would give it any better option than this? Because, I mean, right now this is looking like the best way to recover your memory, but I mean, it's kind of like I can't think of it. There was some show or movie or something where they had to go into someone's brain. I say
Inception.
probably, yeah, Inception, but I haven't actually seen that. But that's probably what I'm
You
thinking of.
haven't
I
seen
say
Inception? You have to see
no, I
it.
never bothered.
The
Oh.
I
top.
never bothered.
It's good.
I
The
tried once.
upside down
I tried.
room. It's
I
dreams.
tried once. It was boring as hell. I
It's a
got like
dream
5
within a
minutes in, and I was like,
dream
nope.
within a dream, and the time moves slower each level that you go deeper. So then the truck goes off a bridge. You're just.
And the whole entire thing is just a metaphor for movies.
Yeah,
What?
Seriously, you didn't know that?
Actually, I didn't.
Well, the director, after like years of people guessing wrong about what everything meant, finally just came out and flat out admitted. He's like, okay, look, this character represents the technical guy. This one represents the person in charge of the sets. This person represents the director. This scene where it's like all of a sudden they say, hey, have you noticed how it's, you can be talking in one area, but then right now we're in Paris talking, and you didn't even think about the fact that there was no in between, and how that's how people don't notice they're being incepted. That was a metaphor for how movies can jump from place to place to place, and nobody cares that they skipped all the in between.
I should watch Inception again. Jake, you should watch Inception once. It's 3.5 hours of
Yeah.
your life that you won't regret.
It's
that I
worth
will
it.
get back.
One time, it's worth it.
I like I said, I tried and I couldn't get through it. But I say you're the one whose brain's going to be dug around in, and if there was any, dishonesty going on right now, then we'll do our best to save you. Obviously, we'll put our lives on the line for you. But that would have to be a risk you're willing to take. What do you think?
Well, I wish I could remember more things, but I really feel like this is a safe place for us. And then as she says that, she glances over at these red caps that are playing soccer ball, and you notice that the ball is orange and blue and kind of furry, and then you're able to see that it has a face on it, so it's like the severed head of some kind of an ape-looking demon, and they're kicking it around as a soccer ball. And then she looks back at you and goes, well, relatively safe. I mean, considering where we are. Anyway, yeah, I don't see any other path forward, so I say go for it. Dig around in my brain. And then she tilts her head and like folds one of her ears back. And Maggie's like, no, we don't do it like that. God, why you gotta be so weird? I will use a machine, a magical machine. But it'll take me some time to set up. So I'll get working on that. You can piss around my fort, I suppose, while you're waiting. I do have a hostel. That's HOSTEL, not TILE, like a hotel, but
Like the movie.
yeah,
Right.
but with slightly less torture. But there's not rooms, so you can just go, find an empty spot. It's more like the Superdome. It's
Like a
the
European country.
It's like the Superdome or
Yes.
America, yeah, after Hurricane Katrina.
Oh.
Yeah.
I say, well,
But-
we're gracious for your offerings of a place to stay. Obviously, this is not the best place to be left out in the wilderness, and we really appreciate that. And will you take your time setting that up, and we'll chill here and try not to make too much trouble. Was there anything that you need help with around here? Is there anything that we could help speed up the process, or while we're waiting for you, is there anything any tasks you need done? Because otherwise, we're just killing time.
She says, um, I'm gonna do voices sporadically.
That's fine.
It's a little bit of a strain for me to do any voices, and they all kind of end up sounding the same. Um, so she tells you, no, she doesn't need any help. She says, Mickey will help me with the hard parts, and she pats the flesh golem on the shoulder, and she says, Mickey, gather up the necessary mechanical parts while I go prepare the magical components. And he nods at her, and then he starts to walk off towards like some mechanical parts that are just like lying on the ground, like kind of rusted, and they look random. And he hobbles over there and starts like gathering pieces. And you notice that, and that's what he's kind of doing, is like hobbling around the fort, um, just from like and collecting pieces of seems like junk, but they're gears, wheels, cogs, whatever. As he's walking around collecting stuff, you notice that he is hobbling with like a painful limp. Um, like there's something wrong with his step, and you see some of the red caps, the little evil gnome guys, are hobbling behind him, imitating him and laughing about it. And they're like waving their hands in the air and making it into a dance, like whoa, like up and down, like bending up and they're like, yeah, do the Mickey, yeah, do the Mickey. And every once in a while, Mickey kind of like turns back at them and frowns and goes, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and then continues collecting stuff. Mad Maggie says, "Oh, before you fiddle around my fort, do you want to see the tapestry I found that has Lulu on it?"
I say I would love to look at tapestry.
Okay, and she sends you a tapestry.
Yeah.
She leads you into this little hovel shack thing that she has, and there.
As we're walking towards the shack, I tap Zoe on the shoulder, and I'm like whispering in under my breath, so only she can hear. And I say, "So it looks. I mean, we're in hell. Obviously, this is Avernus, and we haven't left it. But these creatures seem to be from the Feywild. The red caps are definitely a Fey creature. Hags are Fey creatures. This seems like some kind of abomination mixture of the Fey and Avernus. Weren't you looking for something about the Fae? I mean, you seemed to be pretty secretive. You didn't really want to tell us a whole lot, but you found those mushrooms
I
earlier. That could have been some indication that we're entering some kind of a hellish version of the Fae. So I would keep an eye out on that.
which would still be infinitely better than America circa 2016 to 2020. I will. I'll keep an eye out. Thank you for pointing that out. I wasn't thinking very clearly. And yes, I'm not really that secretive. I just worship Titania, and I'm hoping that she'll turn me into a fake creature someday.
Yeah, I just mean you had that book and you had the mushrooms and you were like, don't
Yes.
mess with it or whatever. So I'm not going
Yeah,
to
I have
question
to.
it. I don't want to get in your business. I just thought that was interesting that suddenly we're in the presence of fey creatures after you willed it to happen.
No, I
There
wouldn't
might
call
be
it willed it, but
there might be some magic there.
thank you for reminding me. I do get a little forgetful. Yes, because there is some stuff I have to do.
Okay. Well, yeah, keep that in mind. And then as we end our conversation, we're walking up and stop moving. I'm assuming, I don't know what's happening, but
Yep, and you see this badass tapestry that she has laid out on a table, and it's like pieced together, and there's kind of pieces missing, but this is what the image looks like. And she says, "Ah, yes, I'm so excited to get into that holy font's dreams and see what nuggets we can turn up." Smacking her lips.
Mm.
I say, "Wow, this is an amazing tapestry. It looks like that's you, Lulu. Look, that's totally you."
That's me.
Oh wow,
I guess I was.
that's
Wow.
cool.
I must have been like friends with her or something.
I look at the tapestry and I look back at Lulu and I go, "Yeah, you've also gained a little bit of weight."
She says, "Oh, that's funny. It seems like I've lost a lot of weight."
We're in hell. We don't fat shame down here. That shit's for heaven.
Yeah.
That's where the really bad people go.
So she says, "Okay, well, you're certainly welcome to ask me any questions or talk to me about anything that you need. But yeah, I've got my intentions set, so I'm gonna start working on the dream stuff. I'll let you know when it's ready, but it could take a few hours. So don't worry, you got plenty of time to mill around. Just before you go to sleep, just come see me, or I'll come get you if I'm tired of waiting."
Oh, so you're gonna be ready by tonight?
Oh yes, it'll be ready tonight. Yes, it'll just take me a few hours.
Okay,
And she's
so basically, when
walking
we're ready
around
to go to sleep,
gathering
Nice.
components and things.
uh, okay, sounds good. Does anyone else? I turn to the party. I say, "What does anyone else have any questions for Ms. Maggie here? Any comments or concerns or ideas?"
Well, I am curious on what those Kinku are working on.
Ah, yes,
What?
Chukka and Clonk. Uh, Chukka is an animated and irritable sort of bird, and Clonk is the strong, silent type. But they're both good
Hmm.
at heart. Yes, they were the ones that found you on the wastelands and brought you to me. Um, just 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 move past anything in the story that doesn't really match up. It's
Did
not an
that is that found us or found Lulu?
well, found Lulu because you got a vision of them finding her on the wastelands,
Yeah,
and then
that's what
they
I remember.
kind of like rescued her and brought her back. Just move past it.
Is that like box text where they could have brought us back from the wasteland?
Yeah,
That's what
the problem is I'm
I,
reading the
I
box
just
text at all.
okay.
So yeah, just unintentional. This is me. Okay, it's just it just didn't happen. Like all of the facts didn't happen. So I'm having to change it, and you wouldn't want to know what things I'm changing. So
Yeah,
I'm just letting you
yeah.
know there's not a puzzle to figure out here.
Okay.
If you're like, aha, there's a gap in logic.
Thank
Basically,
No.
God we don't have to do another giant stone USB.
yeah,
Hey, that was good. You guys sucked.
Oh no, that was really good. But I mean, that I mean, yeah, that one was really good. It was one of those puzzles
So,
where it's like, well, we
you
failed both
remembered it.
times, so of course I remembered it.
Um no, I wasn't. I was just making like, okay, if you're going to read the box text and the box text doesn't line up with what happened and you're going to tell us, "Oh, just ignore that it didn't happen." I at least want to know it's because it was box text you're reading, cuz I have stuff like that where I start reading, I'm
yeah,
like, "Nope, nope, you guys didn't do that. That's not what happened." But I don't know.
exactly. Yes.
I can't tell when you're reading the box text or when you're paraphrasing. So that's what I
Thanks.
was making sure.
Yeah, it's just that. And it's like I need the content from the book because I'm not coming up with this on my own, but parts of it just suck. And I really don't I want to spend the time like, putting together the adventure, but linking up 100 years of backstory is it's just cumbersome. Um and I'm just gonna tell you that Mad Maggie and the Ravens and Lulu is the weakest part of the whole story because there's other parts of the story where it was already explained, and also the timing is an issue. I'm just going to tell you because this happened 100 years ago and Kenku don't live 100 years.
Yeah, I was
So
thinking that.
either she was
So I'm glad you told
What?
us there's no puzzle there.
so either she was wandering Avernus for 100 years and then found the Kenku, or she found the Kenku and these are not the same ones, but the book says that they're the same ones. So this is
If we're in hell, would they not age and just suffer for eternity, or does hell work differently here?
yeah, time works differently. So yes, that could be the explanation. Doesn't say it in the book
So
though. There's nothing in the book. So I can come up with anything, but then it's like, okay, everything that you come up with has to be consistent. And so
That's
it
hard.
just isn't.
yeah.
Um
Well, if it's not 100% consistent, we kind of understand why we're not. But I am confused. So if you go to hell in this world, you continue to age and then eventually die?
Hell is another plane. It's not the demons here are the souls, the immortal souls of people who died and were bad in life or didn't get sent to or sold their soul to a demon or something like that, and they come to hell as a little flesh monster in the river Styx. And as they do things and gain ranks, they become stronger and stronger devils. And that's basically how hell and the abyss work.
it's not a plane
So
of punishment. This is
The
not
people who
where
live here are not all people who died and came back to life as people.
it's not an afterlife.
No.
Is
it
there an
well
afterlife?
it well
Yes.
when a creature
Okay.
dies on the material plane, it is claimed by whatever gods or demons inhabit its alignment. So if it's
Ah.
lawful good, then whatever god is pleased with it will bring its soul to Mount Celestia. If it's neutral good, then its soul will go to Elysium. If it's chaotic evil, it'll go to the abyss. If it's lawful evil, it goes to Avernus, which is the first layer of hell. But if you die unreligious and haven't made a deal with any gods or demons, then you go to like this purgatory, and Kalimvor, god of the dead, who's kind of like the grim reaper, will come and claim you and bring you to somewhere, and that's who Biggie worships.
Huh.
There is a layer of hell
Interesting.
there is a layer of hell. There's 9 layers of hell, and one of them is more like the traditional hell. This one is not that though. It's actually more of a blasted wasteland. That's why it's an
Yeah.
interesting story point that it used to be a paradise. So imagine you had the most beautiful paradisical forest, or meadows and all this shit, and then you just have demons and devils warring and waging and rampaging and burning and for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and until it just all looks like this just from nonstop war. That's this
There's
level.
nothing about that story that I don't like. Nothing. Perfect.
Oh, and to answer Jake's question about the river Styx, which I said that Valrog told you the answer, and now I'm just going to actually say it, which is that the original ruler of the hells, Lucifer, ruled the 8 hells, and Asmodeus, who at the time was the angel Ashmedai, was able to, through clever political dealings, um, conquered the land of Avernus and took it for his own, and diverted the river Styx to Avernus to bring hordes of demons there, so that the devils had to fight them on their terms. And he did that after tricking the gods, because he was an angel at the time. So since Avernus was a paradise, it was being used by the 7 heavens to reward evil doers, evil creatures, because as like an attraction. Like, hey, if you do evil in life, you actually go to a paradise. So it enticed
Huh.
humans to be evil, and that's where they would go, is to the paradise of Avernus. Well, Elysium didn't like that, because they're neutral good, and they think that it's stupid that you should take this good plane and use it to reward evildoers. So they wanted to take over the plane. So Ashmedai lied to Celestia and said that Elysium was planning to reroute their celestial river Oceanus into Avernus in order to flood it with their beings and take over the plane. So Ashmedai received approval from the gods to do something to counter that by rerouting the river Styx from the hells
Mhm.
into into Avernus,
like a preemptive strike thing.
which
Like,
brought
oh, they're gonna shoot us. They're coming right for us. Better divert the river Styx before they
Oh,
divert the river Celestia.
yes.
They're coming right at us.
Another analogy would be during World War II when America knew that Japan was about to
Yeah,
surrender, but they still wanted to
Mm.
test nuclear weapons on humans. So they got the word that Japan was about to surrender, so they rushed to do the 2 nuclear launches so that they get a chance to test it during the war. It's like shit, we've been working the whole war on these weapons. Now the war is over and we don't get to use them. So so what happened was they dropped the first bomb, and Japan didn't surrender because a nuclear bomb is nothing. The United States destroyed over 80 cities in Japan, major cities, and destroyed them to the point like more than a nuclear bomb. The United States was carpet bombing cities. We didn't have that during World War II. All the battles were going on in other countries. So that's what life was like for Japan. They were losing cities left and right. So yes, it is impressive that one bomb could do the same destruction as an entire day of carpet bombing, but the first nuclear bomb was not the worst destruction Japan had seen, and thus they had no inclination to surrender. They still held out hopes that Joseph Stalin, who had not chosen a side yet, was going to side with them and help negotiate. They were already going to surrender. Japan knew that they weren't going to win World War II at that point after the Nazis fell. So they thought, okay, well, maybe we can get more favorable conditions if Stalin helps mediate between us and the Allies. Then
getting a
Russia,
little long.
huh?
This is getting a little long
Oh,
for
sorry.
they.
So the
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
U,
to go
the U,
into all
so
the
the so
backstory.
the
It was
U.S.
just
dropped the bomb on
curiosity.
Japan
wait, hold on.
because they wanted to.
Yeah, but hold on, let me finish the thing. So Russia announced that they were invading Japan, and then Japan said, "Okay, now we know that we're screwed. We're gonna go and say, okay, U.S. unconditional surrender." The United States found out that they were about to surrender because Russia declared war, so then they rushed to drop the second nuclear bomb. So, and because they wanted to test the difference between uranium and plutonium bombs. So the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki did nothing to move the war towards ending, but that's how the
It was
United
just
States
tests.
told the story, because otherwise that seems pretty evil that they did that just to test a bomb on human beings. But that's what happened. So yeah, it's kind of like that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it turn into that long thing. It was just I
No,
got confused again
I
about
turn it
how
into
hell works.
I turn it into a long thing. Sorry about that. But it's
Are
important.
there
The
any
people must.
libraries in this? Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, sorry. By the way, I can prove that all with dates. You can actually see there's like a 12-hour
Oh yeah.
difference between when. Anyway, so yeah, politics in hell similar to real life. Um, sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is
So, did anyone
there?
want to talk to anything else about Mad Maggie?
I was just
Um,
curious if there's any like libraries or any places in the keep that we're at that I could go and start perusing the shelves to look and see what type of books and stuff, because I don't have much going on right now, not until later.
No, no books around here. But if you are interested in
Okay.
anything about hell type stuff, you've got Valrog or Mad Maggie that you can ask questions to. Valrog is your
Okay.
portable question asker, but Maggie's here and she might have information that he doesn't. Um, and I will remind you that the thing that we role played was Valrog tells you, and he tells you intense detail, and you're like, okay, I get it. This is, you know, all this stuff about history, and you've informed me. So that was that's
Oh, I love the D&D history. It's when we start getting to real world history and we're wasting 20 minutes of our game session talking about Japan
Yeah,
getting
I'm
bombed.
sorry
it's
about
important.
that. I'm
It's
Not you.
sorry.
It's not you.
it's important
Oh,
though.
it
It's
was
important
definitely
that
me.
the people must know. The word must get out. Oh yeah, sorry. People must know. Yeah, she's just gathering up ingredients, so you're free to come and go. She's not going to go sequester herself away while she's working. um you do notice that the two black ravens that are on her shoulder, they were on her shoulders at a certain point. They're actually like nesting in her hair. you see them kind of like whisper to each other and like glance at you guys, and then they kind of like fly off. And so
Huh.
Mickey's collecting stuff and getting laughed at by red caps, and you see various red caps around the fort, doing things like playing soccer or playing some kind of a dice game or standing guard or sleeping or loafing about, playing pranks on each other. There's several dozen of them in various spots, some working, some not. Um, so there are four. Oh, actually, you know what? If you guys want to open up Table Plop, I don't know how helpful it will be, but I do have a visual for you. I do actually have a map, and it's a giant
Fort
map.
Camel Toe.
Yes, and it's a I guess it's like a full size map. I could have shrunk it, but I just kind of left it, so it's kind of like the Candlekeep map. We're not going to actually move around. I'm not going to put creatures on here. If there's any kind of a battle or anything, we could run it from here. But mainly, I just wanted you guys to get an idea of the fort that you're dealing with. Also, to help remind you of
Appreciate it.
the locations. So if you look, you'll see that there are between each claw, in each knuckle crevice, there's like a fence that's built with a gate that's open currently, and each one has different stuff going on there. So the first one is the well, that's like a tavern, like a bar. You can get water and food there. The Tinker's Shed, that is the garage. And Willow, you asked about the
Mm,
ravens, or about
yes.
the kinku. She says that that's where they're located. They're in the Tinker's Shed, trying to repair one of her vehicles called a demon grinder, which is a large vehicle, and that's what they're doing. They've been
Ooh.
working on it for a while. They're having some trouble with it, but she has confidence that they will get it working. The next knuckle is the arcade, which is not full of video games. It's actually a bank and also buying and selling, so commerce takes place there. And then finally is the hostel, which is mostly just a bunch of, just an empty floor with, it's a shelter, so you could like rig up, a sleeping bag or a lean-to, or just basically grab a spot on the floor. So those are the four locations that are here, uh, and I'll let you guys jump in before I continue describing anything.
Did Maggie leave us now, or where were we last? We've been
You're
jumping around a little bit, so I don't know exactly where we're at.
you're at her in her hovel, and she gave you a quick rundown of those four locations of the fort, and then I kind of described some of what you see. But yeah, you guys are still in her thing, so in her
Okay.
hovel, so you haven't walked around.
Did she finish describing the two Kenku? I think we might have got off track there and not fully answered the question, because you said the two Kenku you started reading from the book, and then you said, "Sorry, I'm not reading. I'm not. That didn't happen." The last thing you said
Oh
was,
yeah,
"They're the ones that brought you here."
And
yeah.
then
I
I
did.
sidetracked us all.
No,
Yeah, we
that
all
Sorry.
sidetracked.
no
Continue.
that no that was it. And then yeah, I sidetracked because there's not. I'm like, oh yeah, the kinku that brought you here. They're in the garage. They're working on the demon grinder, and they're cool. I trust them. They brought you here. Dot dot dot. Somehow.
Okay, so that was what she said. Was they're in the garage working on a thing, and I trust them because XYZ doesn't matter because it wasn't in the book or whatever.
Yeah.
But she likes them. Okay,
Yeah, they helped
so
Lulu
that's
in the past, but Maggie for some reason didn't realize, "Hey, you're the famous Lulu from the story," and let her go even though now she really really wants her. So there's your story, the plot hole.
okay. So that's your answer for the Kinku. Is they're working on a
Demon grinder.
land vehicle in the garage.
Yep.
After the answer and a pause and no response, I say, "Okay, well, I guess we've got all the answers we need then. If we think of anything else, where I guess we can find you in your main hut that we were in, right? Or I guess this hut that we're in.
Yes, I'll be around. Come back anytime.
Where is her hut on the map?
Yeah, I didn't mark any other locations other than those 4.
Okay. But we'll know
Well,
where it
then
is.
I would, if there's nothing else super important that we're about to do, I want to go to the arcade and look around and shop.
I say, yeah, that sounds good. If you got some stuff to shop for, I'm gonna head on over to the tinker shed and see what's going on with that machine. I think it would be really nice for us to have a vehicle to travel around here, but I'm not sure what they're
Mhm.
gonna want for it. So I think that'd be good to get an idea early on. But you can come meet us there when you're done shopping.
I want to go
Okay.
along with Raxlor to the Tinker Shed because that looks really cool.
And I
You
say,
know, the
who do
vehicle
you?
will probably only cost us like a soul or something, a contract. You know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we've got it. We've got a coin. We've got some expendable souls here. I look around, glance at Shora, and then look away. I say, "Oh, speaking of Shora," to I say that directly after Huck say I say expendable souls, and I say, "Speaking of Shora, um, who do you want to go with, Shora? I mean, obviously you can't be wandering around here alone, but I think we should there should at least be some of us together. None of us should be left alone. What do you think?"
She says, "Oh, I'll you guys are, there's 3 of you, so I'll go with whoever is by themselves."
I say, if you want to, you and Lulu can go with Zoe, just so you guys are together and have can watch each other's backs. And because me and Scree want to go check out the shop,
Okay, that
the
sounds good.
machine shop.
I'll go with Zoe.
Okay,
Cool.
I
All right,
say
I want to.
meet us in the garage when you're done shopping.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so
I would like to look. Okay.
sorry. So Zoe leaves and you walk over to the arcade. You see. Sorry. I need to give you this prompt from Mad Maggie. Since I'm bad with NBC conversation. Anyway, she says, feel free to walk around my shed or my fort, make yourself at home. Um, let me see. She asks you to please play nice with any of her residents here, and that she will be getting reports from them about your actions. But and although she doesn't want violence going on in her fort, that if you have to defend yourself to an extent, that she would be okay with that. And I hope that gives you enough of guidelines of how you can interact with the fort.
I wasn't planning on attacking anybody.
Well, someone might attack you, and I don't want
I
you
I
say
to
wasn't
yes. That
planning on
I don't
it.
want you to sit there just getting attacked and be like, "Oh well, we're not supposed to fight anyone," but
like in
don't.
Baldur's or Candlekeep.
Yeah. So don't go around picking fights, but if violence happens, I mean, she'll judge it on its merits. How about that?
Yeah, I say, well, thank you for that permission. Of course, we would hate to come into someone else's home and just start causing trouble, but rest assured, we will not let ourselves be pushed around if someone decides to bring violence against us. But um, of course, we'll do our best to report to you immediately afterwards to give you the full story if something like that happens.
Unless that home happens to be Hansberger's. Oh my god, what are you doing? I'm pooping in the sink. What does it look like?
I'm trying to poop.
Here. Oh
Okay,
god, that
so
was a long time ago.
Maggie, no, okay, so Zoe leaves to head over towards the arcade. You pass by Mickey, and he's still hobbling around, and you can see him kind of like wincing in pain as he steps. And the red caps are making fun of him. The two birds are the two ravens are sitting on a tree right outside Maggie's hovel, and they just watch you as you walk by. And then finally, Zoe, just as you approach the arcade, you can kind of see towards the back of the fort, and you see um, a floating skull surrounded by green flames. Green flame, and it's kind of like just floating around, looking and like blasting debris with its eye lasers. Like it'll float over here, blast, 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 float over there, blast, blast, blast. And you're at the entrance to the arcade.
There's absolutely nothing about that skull that seems even slightly suspicious. Let me tell you. Okay, so you said that there was like a couple of shops set up, right?
Yep.
I would like to peruse and try to look for a kettle and a tea set.
Okay.
More ornamental and ceremonial, the better. But also money. But I want to look.
Okay. So you look around and you notice that you see a few little. It's kind of like a trader's village, like a flea market. You do see
Yay.
a sort of like change table, like a bank situation, like a lean-to bank. Um, and the imp that runs the bank is named Sarkasia. And you also notice a weapons dealer, and you see a red cap missing an eye, and his shop is Peeper Jack's Weapons. His name is Peeper Jack, and you notice that the weapons that he's selling, they look like some kind of a dark iron with like glowing orangish red engravings across them. And
Okay, that's
then
actually really cool. I may have to.
and you do find a table of this. It's a red cap, so it looks like a little old man gnome, but he's dressed like a granny, like in a flowery dress with like a little bonnet on, and he in a rocking chair. But he still speaks with the gruff voice of a red cap, and he's like, "Oh yes, hello, welcome to my granny tea store. Please buy a tea set."
I would love to. Do you have any? Can I see what type of tea sets and kettles and stuff you have?
Ah, yes, certainly. Let's see what we got here. How about this one? And he holds up a tea set, and it's shaped like a monkey head, and the spout pours out of its ear.
That is ridiculously cool, and now I want one IRL.
He says,
Y'all for
5 gold. Monkey head.
does it come with any cups, or is it just the kettle? Or
Cups
just
sold separately. And he clatters
Okay.
down and he starts digging through stuff, and then he pulls up 4 different teacups. All 4 of them are totally different. They don't go with each other at all. One of them doesn't have a handle, and it looks like it's made out of some sort of a rounded like skin, like from some kind of an animal, and it has little hairs growing off of it. Another one,
Wait, not hanging off of it, actually growing off of it. Like they're
uh,
going to get longer
possibly.
eventually. Oh my god, that's so cool.
it
I
does.
want one IRL.
um, Jake, what's the second teacup look like?
Huh? You want me to describe it?
Yeah, because I'm just making this shit up.
Yeah, clearly.
What's the second teacup
Like
look
it just happened to be a tea set shop there, I mean, sure.
It's a hollowed out centaur's hoof.
Oh.
Nothing about that I don't like.
Willow, what's the third teacup look like?
A baby dragon skull.
Aw.
Even better.
And the last one is it's like some sort of a shell from a giant insect, like a carapace, like almost like a
I
Oh, that's
snail,
cool.
like a snail shell, but more like, but grosser.
I'll take it. How much for all 4 cups and the teapot kettle thingy, whatever they're called?
Oh, I can do the whole set for 15.
I schmeckles.
15
Are you a little booby buyer?
15 gold pieces.
All right, here you go. And I want to give him an extra like 2 gold pieces as thanks.
How much gold do you have?
According to my sheet, over 2,000, and I'm not
God
sure
damn
if
it.
that's correct or not.
God damn it.
I've literally got crap. Now
Probably.
my sheet, there it is.
I've got
It's
905.
That's
I've got like
probably right.
I've got like 2,340 or something like that. Like I don't remember where I got it all from, but I also remember selling a bunch of shit.
Okay, well that's good. It gives me an idea of how much to charge for the Hellfire weapons.
And then in the other game where I have no money, and it's like, well, this piece of shit mace, this is only like 3,000 gold and 2 fingers.
You're level 8, so yeah, you guys have money. Besides, you're in hell, so most of the shops probably won't take normal money, but this place does.
Okay. 2,438 is what I had. All right, so I will give him the 17. Screw it. Here, give him a whole 20 gold as thanks.
Oh, thank you! And he takes the gold and he starts kind of tossing it in the air and letting it land on his head.
Oh, I appreciate it, good sir. And then I want to go and look at the weapon shop. After I carefully make sure my tea set is put away in my pack very nicely.
Make sure you write it down, because I'm not going to.
Oh,
And we can look at the stream if you want to see what the cups are again, but I'm not going to.
Well, I am going to write it down. I just want to finish doing my stuff before I try and write all the shit down.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Peeper Jack. He's got a few weapons for sale. He goes, hey there, looking for some weapons?
I am curious. I saw the somewhat glowing reddish, symbols and stuff on it, and it piqued my interest. What type of weapons do you have?
Oh, yes, these are Hellfire weapons. Oh, yes, quite powerful, quite rare. Yes, only 200 gold a pop. And he motions towards several weapons he has set up either on his table or hanging from a nearby rack. You notice tridents, a couple of glaives, sickles, a bunch of sickles, a few war picks, and a couple of great swords. Hellfire weapons, they called.
If they're what exactly do they do? Is there anything special about them? Are they magical or?
Yeah, it's quite special. Yes, they shed dim light in a 5-foot radius. Fashioned from infernal iron. Any humanoid.
That is kind of cool.
Yes, and if you use a hellfire weapon to kill a humanoid, then its soul is funneled into the river Styx, where it's reborn instantly as a lemure devil. A lot of fun.
That's really interesting.
Don't
All
die.
right.
Don't die to one. That's a bad thing. Don't die to one.
So if I fall down off of a cliff, the last thing I want to do is land on my weapon. Make sure I die with the weapon. Throw the weapon away as I fall. Oh God! There's a breeze. It's coming back. Well, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, no
cool.
other bonus though, but yeah, they cool. Make some devils with them.
Yeah, no, that is interesting. I don't really. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Okay.
All right, anytime. We close at 8.
Yes, I'll be able to tell by
Of
the
course
way
you can
the
tell.
sun. Yeah.
Time's relative.
That's true. Is there any other shops of interest while I'm there?
Nope.
Sell any other?
No, only if you're looking for something specifically.
Are there any Hellfire mandolins or lutes? Do you
Um,
know how bad that would sound? Fucking iron mandolin.
the strings are made out of demon guts. If you want 200 gold for a hellfire instrument.
Yes.
Okay, and they do have mandolins. They have mandolins and lyres.
And lyres. Yeah, but I never learned how to play a lyre.
Oh,
I
there's
should get
plenty of
one.
liars. Oh, that's what. Isn't there a whole cure for that?
Okay. I want to buy a one of the special Hellfire mandolins.
Okay, that's 200 gold. So deduct that, and you can write hellfire mandolin. Um,
That's so fucking cool. I'm gonna have to 3D print one now.
and I didn't come up with a cool name, but imagine there's a clever shop name. Hell's Music or something.
Liars burn in hell.
Liars.
But
burn
liars
hell.
with
Thank-
Lyre.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is going to be so cool. I think I'm done doing my shopping, and I want to glance back at the weapon shop one more time real fast to make sure I saw all the weapons, because I might not have written one down. What was there?
Trident, glaive, sickle, war pick, and greatsword. You also he's also got regular weapons too, and all the red caps that you've seen so far are wielding sickles. So that's like their common weapon.
Okay. I was just curious. That's cool. I want to go ahead and kind of head back towards the where the rest of the group went to look at the thing with the stuff wheels.
Okay. In a different area now, you see that flaming skull still floating around, blasting things, and he'll kind of like float under a table and like look around, and then float back up, and so it's kind of like he's just kind of like looking around, searching.
That's cool.
Do we see that, or is that just him where the areas he happens to be in?
Well, it's just so he sees that.
That's what I was just making sure.
Okay.
Because
And
you said in a different area, but the area now is where we're going. So I was just making sure.
Yeah,
all
he
right,
was.
so
Well, he's kind of. I mean, it's moving more towards you guys' area. He's not staying in one spot. But you guys have not seen the skull yet.
well, hey guys, so there were some really cool shops over there. I bought a very interesting tea set. I got a new mandolin, and they there was something else there that was really cool that I don't remember. I don't know, weapons or something made out of like magical iron, something, whatever. But anyways, you should look at this mandolin I got. It's so cool. Look at it. It sounds like absolute shit. But that's okay, because I'm not a bard and I can't play very well anyway. So it always sounds like shit. Oh, and there was this floating magical skull with like glowing eyes that was like looking around for stuff and shooting stuff and blasting it once in a while. Might be important. I don't know. Might be something to kind of keep an eye out for when we go to sleep. Make sure it doesn't, come and blast us in our sleep. God, I hate that.
While I appreciate the very detailed and paying attention recollection, should we be resolving what we did separately and then having him meet up, or was that fast enough that he meets up before we do anything in the shop?
Yeah. So you guys should probably resolve.
Yeah, do their
first.
stuff first. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I didn't want to.
So yeah, I'll do that stuff later.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I like I said, I wasn't going to interrupt you because that's exactly how you could recap it to us,
Yeah.
like because we already saw it.
And you can you can state your intentions, and then if something happens and then it's going to change it, then we can just change it. But that's fine. I do that too.
Yeah.
Like say I go
Cool.
back to my group and say this or suggest this or whatever. So totally fine. But yeah, so yeah, let's just see what everyone else does. So you guys head over to the Tinker Shed. You don't see the flaming skull. However, you do see. Let's see. So especially outside of this garage area, you see hulks, mechanical hulks in various states of disrepair and cannibalization. You notice some sort of a motorcycle looking thing that's actually missing wheels. You see another almost like a dune buggy looking vehicle with spiky wheels. Um, and it looks like it's missing some pieces. It's got like some damage to it. And then you arrive at the tinker's shed. When you're facing the shed to your left, you see the bar area, and you see several vehicles parked outside the bar. You see uh, a big there's several vehicles, two that look like dune buggies, one big giant one, and milling around by the vehicles and some on the vehicles are a bunch of ghouls and disembodied crawling hands, and about 8 of those insect demons that you guys met before. So ghouls and mesoloths, um, kind of like grouped around these vehicles. The big demon grinder vehicle, which you can identify as a demon grinder because it looks the same as the vehicle that the Ravens that the Chuck and Clonk are working on, except it's like plated in gold, not entirely, but there's a lot of gold on it. It looks almost like golden armor. And then farther away, more towards the entrance of the bar, you see a couple of humanoid figures that look like they're conversing. One of them looks like a black woman in a white dress, and the other one looks like some sort of an elf covered in green clothes and leaves. Sorry for the shitty description, but the book doesn't provide, so I describe it best I can. In the Tinker Shed, you see two Kinku that are working on a demon grinder. One of them is rolled underneath on a rolling board, and the other one is climbing over the top, looking at things, grabbing tools. And only the one on the top is doing the talking. The one under the demon grinder is not speaking. He's just working quietly. Yes, there you go.
What did she say about the guy who was? She said one of them talks and the other one doesn't. What did she say?
Yeah,
If you can hear that.
Chukka is animated, irritable, and takes care of repairs around the fort. Clonk is the strong, silent type who sometimes drives Mad Maggie's infernal war machine.
Okay. I wonder if that has anything to do. And I say this. I'm saying it out loud, so just me and Scree. I say I wonder if that had anything to do with like because he's a Kinku, so he can only talk in mimicry. I wonder if he's like his mimicry is stunted or something. I don't know. That would
Maybe.
suck because like Kenku are like they're already like so heavily cursed. It's like you can't fly, you can't talk, this and that, and it's like yeah, you know what? F your mimicry too. You get nothing. But yeah, that might be something to look at. But I look around the shop and I say, hey, there's your friends. I'm gonna go check out these machines if you want to go. You're probably relate to them a little bit better if I'm not standing right there looking big and scary. So I'm gonna go check out some of these machines if you want to go talk to them and see what's going on. They seem to have been down here for a really long time. If you want to get more information on that and figure out what they had to do, they say they're the ones who saved Lulu, so Lulu doesn't remember anything about it. So it might not be a bad idea to get some information from them and befriend them. And I touch Scree and I give him guidance before I leave, and I say I'll be walking around if you need me. Just shout at me or come get me if you need my help.
Okay,
Got it.
Scree, we're gonna go and do you next. So as Raxlor walks away, then you have agency.
Ooh. Well, I want to see my own people. I want to go see the birds. The two ravens that are working on the demon grinder. I want to come up and squawk, "What you working on?"
Do you remember in Star Wars when Chewbacca is working on repairing the Millennium Falcon because they're about to leave. I think it's in Empire,
Mhm.
and it might
Yeah,
be
it was the second one.
it might happen in more than one, but there's like, and then like Han Solo is like on top, and he's like running around. He's like, I don't know, blah 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 blah, and then Chewbacca's like, roar, 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 and then he's like, well then check for the other
Yes.
gear thing. So basically, that's what's
That
happening.
that
Oh
was
my god.
definitely Empire.
Yes, so that's
Planet
happening.
Hoth. Everybody was getting ready to fight the AT-ATs.
Yeah, yes, yeah, exactly.
Yes, I remember that.
And the one underneath, he'll just like squawk, and then the one on top is like responding to him. So yeah, the Han Solo, Chewbacca, and then the Han Solo one, Chukka, he looks over at you and he goes, "Oh, God, I can't just, I can't do a voice. I can't do a voice because I'm not doing the Lulu voice for everyone and the Red Cap voice. If Red Cap's Lulu, that makes sense, but I can't. I don't have a voice for Chukka. So Chukka's like, "Oh, hey guys, how'd it go talking to Mad Maggie? Oh, so happy to see you again, Lulu." And he walks over to Lulu and opens his wings for a hug. And Lulu says, "Oh, I remember you guys helped me, but I'm sorry, I just don't remember you very well." But she goes ahead and hugs him anyway. And he goes, "Remember, you taught all of us the meaning of love. And so we're so happy in the 30
Aww.
in the short time that you were here, you touched all of our hearts, and we're so glad that we saved you, and we're so happy that you're back. And but what I'm not happy about is that this stupid machine won't work." And he like takes a hammer and like slams it at the machine. And
Oh.
I have to take a 10-minute break, so I'm going to end the stream and then I'll restart part 2 in about 5-10 minutes.